why don't we start this side and work backwards? Mainly because it's always better to work from a known to an unknown. So this is what we're looking for. And that is your natural. Now you've got to remember that the reason we put this trench in is to pick up one of John's geophysical anomalies. And you can see one of the things what I was talking about earlier on, the bottom of the trench should meet the side of the trench at a right angle, which is why I'm digging my trowel into there and cleaning right back to the edge. That is the bit of it's a bit like the floor. You know how it is when you brush around the edge of a floor, you don't quite get the broom into the corner. In this case you've got to get the broom right into the corner. And you can see that what I do, if I just drag back, like I say, we've got John's geophysical anomaly in here. John told me that the trench is put in to get the anomaly about a metre from the end of that trench. What do we got here? Soily stuff. Here we've got natural. So I suggest that what we've got here is probably the edge of John's feature, and that is the line. Okay. So what we want to do, you've got the natural up there. Yep. We're not really sure here we don't know how wide it is, but
Daniel,
this is looking somewhat more orangey again. Look, that is much more like that. So we're looking to get the other edge of the feature. It might even be in. It might even be there. So that might be the edge of the feature that we're looking for. What it means is you don't dig that away. Oh, Phil told me to dig to that light grey stuff.
don't do it on that.
What we got to do, it's got to be level. Find that where you find it. Here we've got it. We can have a little bit more taken off of there, just to make sure that we got the light stuff there. Again, we've got to get it right up to the edge. When you see a big stone like that, it is not an excuse to rip it out. It's sometimes very easy to do that, but you'll see there's a big stone there. There's also a stone there, big stone. There's also quite a large stone in there. When you look at the trench as a whole, you can see that stones like that are not 10 a penny. It's possible, but not certain, it is possible that those are packing stones for a post hole. So those big stones stay in. We go round them, we keep the area level, we keep the area clean. What we're talking about at this point is definition. So we define where the stones are, we define the areas around the stones, we define the ditch. Everything is defining the feature. If we can't see the edges, then we can't see anything. Keep going until you can see the edge, and there you can see that's a perfect example. That is well defined. As you come back, you might lose it. Don't worry about it. I mean, that's just the way things are. But the main thing, again, work it from that end, work your way back. Where you've worked is clean, where you're working to is dirty. If anybody steps on the cleaned area, including you, that is a hanging offence. If you've done the job correctly, it should be obvious that it's clean, and it's obvious that you wouldn't walk on it. It's obvious to everybody else that they wouldn't walk on it. If it's not clean, then and it's not clean to anybody else, then you ain't done the job right in the first place, and you've got to go back and do it until it is right. That makes sense?
Yep.
Any questions? Why am I such a miserable bastard? No, that is not a question. That is not
is.
Right, there we go. We'll get on with it now, please. Don't be afraid to rip into it. But whatever you do, keep the trowel level. If you rip into it like that, you'll dig a hole.
No.
You don't want to do that. But what you do want to do is be able to rip into. You can see there that as I do that, we're taking off this last veneer, and it really is a veneer of plough soil. And that then comes off of there, and you can see that as you're coming back across there, as I'm coming back across there, where are you going to end up? You're going to end up at about that level, because this bit will come off.
Yeah.
And again, once you get to there, it's rising up.
Yeah.
When you look at it again in section, and again, this is why your sections are so important. What do you see in the section that you see in the bottom of the trench? It's the same stuff. It is sitting on the top of that.
Yeah.
That is stratigraphy. So what we've done there is we've taken off all of that to reveal that. We've got to do the same thing there.
Okay.
That is the reason it's so important to work clean. It is also the reason it is so important to think about what you're doing. It's not just a mechanical process of just troweling back across the ground. You've got to think about what, can I afford to take a bit more off? Am I going a bit too deep?
Yeah.
All this sort of thing.